In this chapter, we're going to learn how to write Java Applet. An applet is a Java program that runs from a web browser, not from the console or from the command line. So because of that, we're going to have to do some things differently. We're going to have to include some HTML in our Java source file. We're not going to write a main method, and all data that we display will be displayed through a window, of course, since we're executing these applications through a browser and not through the console. So for this lesson, let's start with a simple Hello World example. So we're going to call this helloapplet.java. First thing we have to do is import a couple of sets of classes. First of all, we need the abstract Windows toolkit, since we're going to be writing an application that uses a windowed environment. And then we also need the applet classes, since we are indeed writing an applet. So that's where we start. Our program begins with public class helloapplet, just like normal, but here we're going to extend the applet class. So helloapplet is actually a subclass or derived class from the applet class. To have a bare minimum applet running, we have to implement a paint method that allows the system to display a window on the screen. All we want to do inside the window is create a string that says hello world, or draw a string. That sounds kind of funny to say draw a string, but that's what you're doing since we're in a graphical environment. So we're going to write hello world, and we also want to add 2 arguments to tell the size of our window. And that's all we need. However, with this program as is, we'd also have to write some HTML that would call the applet when we loaded the HTML file. Well, that's a lot of trouble when all we're trying to do is test. So what we're going to do instead is put the HTML inside our source file. So to do that, we have to put it inside a comment. So we start off with a /*. This will be a multi-line comment. Then we write an applet tag with the attribute code being set to hello applet. And then we set the width of the window and the height of the window. And then close the tag. And then, of course, close the comment. So now we're ready to execute this program. So let's save it. So here we compile. And then once we've compiled it, then the next step is to run it. And to run it, all we have to do is type. And we get a warning, but we still get our screen. So I'll bring it over to our main window right here. And there's our Hello World applet. So you see we have a little title bar that tells us we're running an applet, and we have a little status bar saying the applet has started. And then in the applet itself, we have the string Hello World. To close it, we simply hit the close button and we're finished. So that's all there is to getting a Hello World applet running. Now, of course, there's quite a bit more to applets than this, but for this lesson, that's a good start. So to review, you need the AWT, the Abstract Windows Toolkit, and the applet classes. You provide a snippet of HTML in a comment. Then you write your class as a derived class from the applet class. You implement the paint method. And in this case, because all we wanted to do is put a string, we wrote g.drawString. Notice that g is our graphics object, and we told it to string hello world onto that object. So with that, we're finished with this lesson, and we're ready to move to the next lesson where we're going to explore how to create applets in some more detail.